Well, hello again, and welcome back to Farmland Flats. Made a few changes since last time, so quick run over. We come over here. The wind farm has gained a third turbine. There's another wind farm sprouted up over here. Detailing on them is fairly minimal. I've just put some paths in and some little porta cabins around the base of them. Doesn't do a lot, but looks alright. It was running low on power, so I thought, yeah. This road over here has changed slightly. This junction gets quite heavy during rush hour, so it's now gained some turning lanes, just to try and keep the main flow through. Then I realised people can't walk and bike on these roads, so I've just shoved in a bike and cycle path alongside, which should help, and I've done the same down here. Also been playing with intersection marking tool a little bit more, so not that one. Where are we? Some of the ones I've had to play with. Where are we? Down here's had some decals shoved onto it, as has that. We can run along here into the main part of the little town, and we'll see. Here we go. So yeah, put the double yellows in. Interesting. This is a discovery I made. I've been using this tool for a while, but I wasn't aware of it. You put in the double yellows, and you can't see them. What you can do is move the lines, which I didn't realise. By default, they're a little bit outside. So, a simple way of doing that. We come along to find another one that needs doing. Let's have a look at this one. And just show roughly how I've been doing this, because it works quite nicely. So literally from there to there, draw a line, which you can't see. Double solid, you can sort of see it. And what I'm going to do then is drag the lines out a little bit like that, so they can be seen. The default sizes are too big. Go into that, select yellow, and find a suitable colour. I'm going to copy that colour because I want to use it again. And we go there to there. Do exactly the same thing. Bring them out a little bit. You can save these as templates. I do have a template for this, which is sometimes it takes a little bit more time to actually use it than doing it this way does. Paste the colour in. Drop those down in size. Drop those down. Work out roughly where I want to put them. Yeah, that might be a bit orangey. Might need that colour to be a little bit yellower. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll have that one. And then this other line over here, I'll like to be the same colour. Right. That's still very orange. Yeah, that's the one I want. Copy that into the other line. Paste. There we go. Right, and then we're going to do another one there to there. Same again. Double solid. Reduce the sizes and just put the offsets in so they can be seen. And change the colour. And then the other thing I'm going to do is this, which just puts some lines on the ends of the parking bits like that. And that's it. These are decals, but there you go. So that's junction. Looking reasonable, I think. Yeah, so we did a little bit of that. And we're running. Yeah, there was a bit of a fire over here. It seems to largely have recovered now. Nobody important died. That's the main thing. Now, what we've now got is we're starting to get some issues with demand for people. We have some incredibly high residential demand. All of these areas here are now about where I want them to be. So what we're going to be doing is looking at the town, which is going to start over here. Now, the inspiration for this and if I can work out how in the later video, I will stick a little clip up here somewhere, is Barnsley. This is basically where I live, so I know this area fairly well. Specifically the bit around Junction, I think it's 37, the main one in the town. So there, it's the one where there's a Toby Carvery and a travel inn about here, and then an industrial estate and so on and so forth. If I put my some of my names back on, contour lines would be useful. Border lines, the border lines, because I need to know where I'm going. The land being not particularly flat actually is very fitting. The only thing I'm going to do is come into here, is smoothie. This bit, just the bit coming off the motorway, like that. Just to make life a bit simpler. So what we're going to have is a road that comes up here, so let's find a suitable road. Now this road is going to be quite a busy road. I'm going with that one. Yeah, a 4-lane would be nice. I don't know what this one looks like. Let's see what this one looks like. And home that. What does that look like? That I like the look of. That will do. So I'm going to drag that off up there a bit. We do have a bit of funding available now. What I've been doing is I've been letting the game run. Turn anarchy off. I've been letting the game run while I've been playing. So, and what we then get is this comes up to a point. Oh, let me see now. I've got a reference picture which unfortunately you can't see because I'm not capturing that part of the screen. Yes, yes, anyway. Right, so what I'm going to do, this is a main road that comes in. This is actually the A628. So this is going to carry on. I'm going to take it to there as a 4-laner. It won't stay a 4-lane. It'll go down into other roads. But that's going to be the main road in. Now, there are normal roads that come off this. And these are normal roads that have parking and other bits and pieces. There are houses along this as well, which is perhaps interesting, but it's it is what we get. So, rural village road. It's not really a rural village, but there we go. So we're going to take a road off here just a little bit, which is then going to do that, because I'm going to put some nice little houses on there. I'm then going to go into a normal road, which is going to be that one. I don't want people parking too near the entrance to all this. And we're going to go that way. Now these, I think I'm completely mental. These roads here are not what's needed at all. Actually, I'm going to grab that one. Upgrade that because it's got a slightly darker finish, which I quite like. Don't have one in there available for that. Never mind. As you can see, I'm going to have to come in and put the marking tools and stuff like that on there, which I don't mind. And then we're going to have another one of these, which is another normal road off up here a little bit. And these here are housing. This one's quite a bit longer, I think. There we go. And this whole area here is housing. Now, there are houses along the road. I know Biffa and so on will say, no, don't do it, don't do it. Don't put houses along the main road. Housing I'm not too bothered about. I try to avoid having too much in the way of infrastructure on them. So I don't want large areas of shops. I don't want anything that's going to generate traffic. Housing isn't too bad for traffic. Let's just bring the water pipes down here. Yeah, that'll do. It's near enough. I'm going to have to bring power over here as well. So again, I'm going to stick with these little power lines. I'm going to start over here. So I'm going to run the power lines this way. And near to the highway. We'll have a little look at the highway in a minute as well, because I'm quite pleased with how that's turned out. And we'll bring that over to there. So that means we've got power over here. As usual, we need to set the appropriate district up. So I'm just going to make all of this here into UK British. Close that off. That. Hendon. I'll stay as Hendon for now. Suggestions for better names, more than welcome. So what we're now going to do is clear out some, not all of the trees. I don't want to get rid of them all. I'm quite happy to keep some of these because this area is actually, in reality, a little bit wooded. But what I don't want is trees that are under houses. Trees that are under houses, you're burning through your node limits. I'm not that fussed about such things on here, but there we go. Now, and what I want to do is zone this area here in with some houses. That bit probably not right up to the motorway. That bit can get some. Now the houses back here are going to be a little bit smaller, but this area we're going to see what we get. Now we've got housing demand, so hopefully, he said, we'll get some people wanting to move in. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Get some people moving in. And this road down here is going to be more more like that. More decent sized houses. I might actually modify the zone a little. But I think I will. What I'm going to do is shrink this a little bit. May seem a tad counterintuitive. I'm going to shrink that and I'm going to change the style of housing. What I'm going to go with is UK detached. So save that. And let's have a little look and see what UK detached actually gives me. Okay, detached housing. Yep. Low density, there we are. UK. See, I don't want the bungalows in this area. I'll do them separately. But all of that sort of house. This sort of... I do wish it wouldn't do that. So it's just... the list has just jumped while I'm trying to select things. So quite happily have those. They all look rather nice. Semi-detached houses around here. That's a detached theme, so we'll stick with the detached. That'll do. Let's see what, if anything, grows in here. Yes, motorway, while we're at it. Had a little play. Use Traffic Manager to close a lane. Fairly straightforward. We just have a little look. I'll show you exactly what we've done. So yeah, everybody goes off up that way. The other end, so if we follow down here, told people don't change lanes, so which will basically keep them out of the inside lane, and they get to the end and they can change lanes again. So that they run down here, all the lorries in the outside lane where they probably shouldn't be, but there we are. And just put a load of little props in. So get rid of that. Bit of roadworks. What I actually want is some signs. I'm not seeing roadwork signs. I'm going to have a look and see if I can find some. And possibly have a play and create some slightly better signs for around here. Yeah, anyway. Are we getting housing coming in? Why are we not spawning in housing? Okay, let me assist is what I'm going to... UK detached. Or no, it's got to be detached. I don't want the semis. I want the actual. The proper sized detached houses. Here we are. This sort of thing. Put a few of these in. What are these? They're level 3s. Level 3s I don't want. Don't want level 3. Level 3 won't stay there. Level 1. Sorry. That's what I need to do. Get rid of all that. Oh, stuff started to grow in now. Oh, we'll see what we get. The Garnet residence. Yeah, these are not the houses I want here. So what I'm going to do is do this manually. Did that zone change take? Turn that one off, that's why. See what we get now. Hopefully they'll start spawning back in again. There we go. So give me this little area here. What I'm trying to do is deal with the, as I say, the housing demand. So, Diet Coke today. Right, so hopefully they'll start to spawn in a little bit, and that'll give me that area. The other side of the road is basically the same. We sort of go down to... I'm going to do it down to about there, like that, to start with. This little road up here is... it's a back street into another area. We can do some other bits and pieces around that. Behind here looks a little bit like parkland, so what I'm going to do is extend that a little bit. And what I can now do is put some parkland in around here to make it a thoroughly decent place to live. So that's probably a little bit big. Playground, don't really want playground. Just want a park, not a massive park, just a park. What else have we got? Speed cameras. Speed camera as a park. That's a bit... it's different, I'll give it that. Oh, I'm just going to put the playground in for now. We'll see what else we get. Over here could in theory be some commercial or light industrial. I mean, that's basically what's there, is just some little yards. I'm not, because in game that produces all sorts of pollution, which I'd really rather avoid. So, carry on up here. This road here we have, this is actually Hunter's Avenue. We're then going to go up into the next one, which is Moorland Avenue, and this is not quite a bit now. This is where the scale of the game sort of falls over a little bit. These aren't quite going to be back to back, but they are more or less. I'm just going to drag that out there, and that's... Do love how the picking tool can completely fluff. Anyway, never mind. Right, so that's not the road I wanted. I wanted that one. These are not main roads. So yeah, this is going to be quite a few junctions near each other, but hopefully, because they're residential, it shouldn't cause too many problems. So drop that into there. As you can see, this has dealt with a lot of the housing demand I've got. But now I'm going to carry that on there, which will get rid of that one. And then, yeah, just carry that on like so. And that can go there, and then here. We're going to do this as well. There are other bits and pieces over there, but the road names on, see what we get. Woodside Terrace. Oh, yes, actually. Yeah, I'm actually going to rename some of these. A628. There we are. not going to rename them all. I'm just going to rename one or two of them like that. Basically just because I can. Now this is dealing with some of the housing demand, so let's just drop in and see what we're getting. Because this area is just housing and trees basically. So this little bit in here will probably get trees, possibly another park, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, it's a slightly better to do area. This isn't going to be the same level of high density terrace, there'll be more of that. But this is going to sort things out. And this little area here, you know, I don't actually know what it's called. Yeah. We see here, this is part of the problem we're getting. We're getting not enough workers, and this is because we don't have enough housing demand met. So I'm going to continue zoning in some more housing. There is another road that comes off. Now it actually comes off very slightly staggered, however. Very slightly staggered. Sucks and blows in this game. It doesn't really work at all. What we're going to do is just have some nice little curve around there like that. And let that carry on, and then off there somewhere, say there, we're going to do this bit, which does actually tie in elsewhere with another road eventually, but we shall see. And basically, whenever I've got housing demand, I just need to keep doing this. So I'm fairly keen on not burning through all of my money drawing roads in. However, it's not going to be a huge problem. Now, this bit over here, it's actually a little bit of a newer estate area, actually. But for my purposes, this will do. Yeah, we'll just do. Don't normally do the block fills, but we'll do the block fills there. Hopefully that will see the housing demand dealt with for a little while. We have got a few little traffic issues coming up. We're approaching the rush hour bit, so we may have just gone past it. So if I select this, basically the busy route is this road here, because that's the only way to get from this half to this half without going up on the motorway, and this bit. And this bit down here, it's getting to the point it needs something doing to it. It's not quite there yet. It backs up, but it does flow. So for now I'm going to leave it. But this road here is a candidate for getting upgraded. Like I say, that junction's going. That's going to end up looking remarkably like this one. Let's see how we go. See if this allows me to bring more workers in. Now this road is going to stay pretty much as it is. It could do with a little bit of marking dropping onto it. There, I see people moving in now. I'm not going to do the markings on them just yet. I'm going to wait and see how that goes. What I am going to do, however, though, because it's usually worth doing, is extend the entrance road like that. I could even put an island there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put an island in. Prop. UK traffic. It's those, but there is actually an island. Ooh. The individual ones. Look at UK props. I know the exact prop I want. I've used it elsewhere. I just want to try and find it first. As the beauty of this game, it's got so many bits and pieces in it, that's the one I want. It's trying to find them, which is always the problem. So that is going to go there. I'm also going to go into here, UK road decals, because this is actually a giveaway line across here. So I need to find a suitable size giveaway line, 10 metres. I'm going to do it a little bit big. That. 8. That'll do. In practice, that should be a much more splayed out junction, but in reality, that's what it's getting. Let me just see if there is actually a crossing here. Behaviours. Yeah, people can cross, and because people can cross, I'm also going to stick a crossing in. There are some crossing decals in here somewhere. There we go. One of those. No. I want smaller ones. Something like that. Something like that. That is a traffic light in practice, but if I'm going to wait and see if the usage gets high enough for it to matter. See how we're doing down here. Still got not enough workers kicking off. Well, we've got plenty of space for housing demand, so hopefully we'll just have to wait and see if people zone in. Other issues we've got, we need another high school, because we are getting to the point we don't have enough high schools, and over here we'll need a smaller school as well anyway. And I don't actually know where the schools are over here. This isn't the part of town I actually live in. There is a high school a little bit further up, and that's where the high school's going to go, probably about there somewhere. What I need to do is find somewhere around here to put a smaller school. And I'm actually tempted. See, this road here doesn't have anything else on it. There's an estate in here which is accessed via some other roads, including coming off the back here. Oh. Whatever reason, that bit. Yes, it can be. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just a visual distancing thing. Yes. Right. And the other thing I'm going to do while I'm here is put in... let's put in a path. Put in a path there. And this area does have more stuff in it. This area here is going to be where I'm going to put a school. I need a school, so I'm going to put one in. Let's come off there like that. Do that. Go into here. Don't really want the UK village style one now. Need something slightly... Let's see what else we've got. That's the high school. Don't really need the high schools. There's the village primary. Don't really have much else. Content creator. What have we got in here that might work? Another high school. Large elementary school. Expensive. How big's that? That's huge. Don't like that. That's smaller but looks... Oh, it's a library anyway, so... okay, looks like we're just back to the normal schools. We'll have one of those. Which is going to be... there. Hopefully that's got water. It might not have, so we'll make sure it does. That is going to get a path to there, and then turn all of that off. Going to get a path through to there, because that looks a bit better. Yeah, that works. May or may not get a playground. I've been putting playgrounds next to all the other ones, so I think I will. Doesn't need to be much, just going to do that, and then we'll stick in a playground next to the school. Schools and playgrounds go together quite nicely. And then what we're going to do is zone in this. Like that. Takes people up to the back there, that. All of that for now. There'll probably be... take those two out. I might put another path through there in a bit. In fact, what I'm actually going to do is turn that into a crossing. Like so, and then we need to put lights on it, at which point those bits appear, and then we shall put the 13, that enough? 13, not quite. Yeah, it'll do. Right. Put those markings in there, now we can see what we're doing. Yeah. That works. How's the not enough workers demand coming on? Get in there. Not perfect. I don't think I've not quite understood is why the Tingewick estate. The reason this is separate, and apart from that, I think it's a separate housing style. I originally put the Brooklyn and Queens bit in here. I wanted that sort of tenement style look, but they're all high density, the ones I actually wanted. So what I've ended up with is a lot of these. What I'm actually going to do is just manually drop a few more in. The idea was this area would have quite a lot of these. And it doesn't seem to have worked out terribly well. That one there needs to go. There, that'll do. Yeah, it brings in a few more people as well. These bits are free in case I want to bring the roads out the other end. So, yeah. And over here is our new little area. So we've got that. Possibly do with a few other bits and pieces dotting around over here somewhere. I think what I need to do is carry this road up to the junction, which comes up here like that, goes across that way. There is a smaller road that comes off here. This has a slip lane that runs around it. It's quite a pokey junction actually, this one. Again, I'm using the wrong road. That is that style of road, which is the main road. And that is actually a curve, so I'm going to do a proper curve. That goes around there, and then it does actually carry on as well, which might be a little bit more interesting trying to do. Yeah. I'm going to have a think about that one. For now, sorry, on that, I'm just going to carry this on a bit further. That comes up there, and then there's a little road that comes over here that links round, but it is a small one. So what I'm going to do is come back down here, grab hold of that, because it is actually a little lane. And we're going to take it to about there. That's going to go there. And that can probably go out there a little bit. Interesting how it seems to think that's a junction, even though it's not. It's obviously something to do with the end of the roads. Never mind. Right. Not all that's covered with water. It is now. And somebody can live next to the park. Lucky them. That area there does not have housing on it. I don't want houses there. And that bit does, and that bit does, and that bit does, and that bit does. There we go. So, anyway, right, that's enough pootling about on that. So what have we got? We have a need to extend this quite considerably into this area here. Right. And then we have a bit of road that just looks vaguely real. So, yeah, it's coming on all right. It's not perfect. Let's go with a little bit of detailing. So, I will speed things up again. So there we are. That's adding in a new area, which is going to be the start of the city. So, or the start of the city proper, anyway. Go in, have a little bit of a look. Yeah, it's coming out quite nicely. It's style appropriate. I mean, they'll these buildings will grow as we go in. This road is obviously horrendously over capable for what we've got, but it's mostly T-junctions, so there is going to be a clear route through. So hopefully through traffic won't have many problems. So just follow some of these around here. You see they're dodging from side to side as they work out. Round he goes. That all needs detailing up with the sort of the end markings and what have you, but it'll do. Yeah, it's obviously a slightly lighter coloured road going through there, but I'm not too bothered. That works. Yeah, a little bit of an odd angle. It just breaks things up a little bit. And going the other way, we come down here. Let's just follow these. See, again, I've fenced a lot of the field sides in around here. That's one thing you do notice in the UK. Just about everywhere's fenced in. Somebody owns everywhere, so you don't get to wander about too much. Round over here, over the railway. More fencing. This area here I quite like. This little bit. I think it works. Various signs and whatever it needs. Traffic lights. Notably, the UK road traffic lights don't give you the side aspects, although the traffic manager does. So it does actually work. Yeah. I think so. We've nearly got rid of the I need to do more of this demand. We do have more demand for commercial growing, so I'll have to see where we put some of that. There'll be some commercial just dotted in about up here. Let's see what I can do. Ploppable pub. That one there. Don't want these big corner pubs. Ooh, that's quite a modern looking one, actually. That's the. If you've ever seen the meme of it, flat roof pub. It's these are where you go if you want to have an argument and possibly don't want to come out without some bruises. Not every pub's like that, I hasten to add. So put a little car park in there like that. So there's a little bit more leisure access. There's a bit, there's not much, but there's some. Need to put some more parks and things in around here. Basically, I want this area to be a little bit more posh. So what's land value around here looking like? Blue, so yeah, not brilliant. What else we got? Collyton's growing up nicely. Royston Cross isn't. Tingewick isn't. Kings Meadow isn't. Muxton's brilliant. They're doing rather nicely. Over here, Worsley and Ongar is starting to. This is because these areas here have a lot more in the way of services available to them. Whereas over here doesn't. I found myself wondering about putting a fire service in over here. I've got the money to do it, so I think I will. Another fire station, slightly different size one. Yeah, we'll have one of those. I've not used that one before. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll do. It's got a little roadway so that things can get to the back of it. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do quite nicely. And to put a fence around it, because good fences make good neighbours. So I am told. The oil industry one again, because I think this is basically the best fence for security fencing. out there, and then that could just come down the front like so. And I'll run that to there as well. There we go. The local fire station, which should help me cheer people up a little bit. Again, that'll help. And possibly, let's have a little look. Small Welsh police station. Local police station is... yeah, let's put one of those in there. And I'm going to give that a car park as well, just nearby. It's got its own walls, so it's okay. Just a little bit round the back here, that'll just help people nearby. Yeah, that's yeah, they're already upgrading. We shall see what they come out as. So this here just becomes just a little services area. What can we do in terms of fire things here? I'll take that one. Quite happy with that one and that one. And police station here. What are we going to send out from here? Yeah, it's local police. That one I think will do. It's not the main centre. Yeah, there we are. Even more housing demand coming on. We shall leave it at that. I've got lots of other demand for a whole load more things. And in the next one we shall continue to expand. We'll put in the high school and other bits like that and finish off this area, which really isn't going to be any more than that. And in practice, a lot of this is going to be greenery. So the sort of the town is sort of going to come round up here. In reality, it's a big distribution centre around here as well, which, yeah, maybe. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As usual, comments, shares, likes, subscriptions, yada yada yada, all the YouTube good stuff. More than welcome. Still going with suggestions for names. If anybody's got some better names and suggestions for ideas for what to put in, as we continue with the little town of Farmland Flats. Thank you very much, and goodbye.